Okay guys, today I'm going to show you my 5 favorite knots. Now, why are we focusing on knots today? Knots are something that we all use on a daily basis, and they're eminently practical. They can be beautiful if tied properly, and they can even save your life. So let me show you the 5 top knots in my book that I use on a daily basis, and I think you guys should learn too. Let me bring the camera down and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, the problem with most shoelaces these days is that they're no longer made of natural fibers. So here we have a shoelace which is made out of probably a nylon material. And what happens is these shoelaces become undone a lot. And I know it's very annoying to be on a hike or even going to the office with your dress shoes and having to stop to tie your shoes 4 or 5 times a day. So I'm going to show you an improvement on the basic knot. Now, we'll just assume that this is a shoe, and we're going to tie a knot the way we always do when we tie our shoes. Basically, we're going to do an overhand like that. And now we'll do our first loop here. And then we wrap this around. Everyone at this point, I'm sure, knows how to tie their shoes. And you get something like this. Whoops. Now, normally, you would tighten this and you're done. Over time, this will come undone, and you're going to have the problem of a shoelace that you're going to have to stop when it's most inconvenient to retie. Now, if you don't know how to tie knots, what you usually end up doing is tying a lot. So you'll do this, and then you'll double knot, and maybe triple knot, and what you get is pretty much an ugly mess that's hard to untie and will come loose on you. Sorry, I keep kicking the tripod. Okay, so let's tie this knot in a way that it will not come loose unless you want it to come loose. So we tie our knot exactly the same way that we normally would. Just a simple overhand knot like that. Then we make our first loop and our second loop. And now, when we get to this point, right, instead of pulling it tight, take this loop and bring it back around like that, inside. Now tighten. So you get a knot that kind of looks like this. This knot will not come undone, guaranteed. It will not untie itself. I've been using this knot now for about a year, and it just doesn't come undone. It's fantastic. Such a simple little thing. Now, if you want to untie it, it's very easy. You just pull the two ends, and you're done. Okay, the next knot I want to show you is called the taut line hitch. Now, this is a very useful knot to know when you're trying to attach a rope to an object and not only make it tight, but make it adjustable. So what you would do here is to take your rope around the object that you want to tie it, and take the working end of the rope over, and then you would go under once, twice, like that. Then you take your working end of the rope again, and you go over to the other side, once, twice, and now tighten. Now, you get a rope once you clean it up, that kind of looks like this. And I don't know if you can see that. And this is a friction knot. So what happens now, this knot will not slip, but it is adjustable. So by simply moving the knot itself, you can make the rope looser or tighter. And once you put it where you want, the knot will not I'm applying a considerable amount of pressure here, the knot will not slip. Taut line hitch, very easy knot to know, and again, like all of these knots, very easy knot to untie. Done. Our third knot is a constrictor. Okay guys, as you can see, I'm back at the house. I attempted to film this constrictor knot early this morning, and I had the camera angle completely wrong, so the entire video was of my belt buckle. So let's try this again, and we'll hopefully splice it into the right spot of the final product. So what we're going to do now is take our rope and make a bend in it like that, and then take the working end and bring it back up. So you have kind of like a bend on the top and a bend on the bottom. Then we're going to take our working end and wrap it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and then tuck it in the back. Whoops, tuck it in the back. Let me show you that again. We have the loop here. Bring this rope back up. So we have something that looks like that. Then we wrap it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and then tuck it in the loop at the bottom. So when we tighten this knot, it kind of looks like a small, looks like a small hangman's noose, which basically is what it is. This is a knot that is not going to come loose. It's easy to hook around the object, and it's, as the name implies, it's a constrictor knot, and the harder you pull, the tighter it gets. But it loosens easily, and the beauty of this knot is, when you're done with it, you just slide it out, and it's gone. The next knot is a very practical knot to know. Let me bring it back a little bit. When you want to join 2 pieces of rope together that are different sizes. So if I want to join this rope to this rope, a very easy way to do it is to take the larger rope and make a loop like that. Then you take the smaller rope and you go underneath like that. So this way, then you bring it over and around to the other side like that. Over, or under rather, and around to the other side. Then you go over and then under this piece like this. See? Now you have, this will now form a 90-degree angle as I tighten it. Now you have a knot which joins 2 ropes together and is really strong. This knot will not slip. You can tow a boat with this knot, and the more friction you apply to it, a lot of knots, as you tighten them, they become impossible to undo later on. But this one is very easy to undo. You're done. Now, show you again. Make the loop, take the other rope, under, behind, over, and under here. Tighten, 90-degree angle forms, you're done. Strong knot. Okay, the last knot I want to show you is probably the most important one of all. It's called the bowline, or the bowline knot. Now, you've all seen movies, TV programs where someone needs rescue and the rescuers throw them out a line. Well, have you ever thought if you're on the receiving end of that line, what do you do with it? Well, that's where this knot comes in handy. Now you may remember the knot we made before, the constrictor knot, that looks like a little hangman's noose and behaves like one. So this knot would tighten up, and this is not the kind of knot you want to use when you're trying to rescue someone or trying to effectuate self-rescue, because once you have this over your chest area, let's say somebody throws you a line, the minute they pull on it, it's going to choke you. So not a good knot for this scenario. So what you do want is the bowline knot, and I'm going to show you how to tie that. Now, there are two ways to do this really. One, outside of your body, if you're going to throw the loop to someone else to rescue them. And the other way is if someone throws you the line, and it's not just used for rescue, it's used for all sorts of things. But we'll do the first one where I need to be extracted from a dangerous situation, and I'm thrown the rope. So what I will do is take the rope. Okay, so you're thrown this rope. So first thing you want to do is get it around your chest. Now, hopefully you can see this. So you want to take the working end and go over and under like that. So that forms a kind of loop. Now you take the working end again and go behind and then back into the loop like that. When you tighten this knot will not come undone, and it will not, more importantly, constrict on you. So now you can be pulled out or pull someone else out without fear that they're going to choke or get strangled or, God forbid, anything worse than that. Again, another knot that's very easy to untie. Now I'm going to show you how to tie it for someone else's benefit. And basically, it's the same thing. Let me get behind the camera for this. So, you take the rope and you go over and make a loop like that. And as you turn it, it forms kind of like this little loop here with the rope end going through. So just continue to go around and down. Tuck in to here, and you get that characteristic looking bowline knot. And here's the back of it. So what happens is this end here also forms a kind of a frictional barrier. So this knot will not come undone. Now you can throw this to whatever victim you're trying to rescue or help out, and there's no fear here that he'll be choked, and no fear that the knot will slip. Very good knot to know. So, I hope you enjoyed this small introduction to my new channel, The Weekend Wanderer. I hope to make more videos like this in the future, but right now it's a beautiful Sunday morning for a day hike. I've got my little lumber pack here all ready to go. Maybe in a future video I'll talk about the contents of that pack for just a little day trip, and I'm going to take advantage of not having to work today. And I thank you guys all for coming. If you like what you've seen so far, please subscribe, and I hope to see you again next time. Take care.